Golf has penalties for breaking the rules, kind of like getting a timeout in other sports. But instead of sitting out, you add extra strokes to your score, which makes it harder to win. Some penalties are 1 stroke, some are 2 strokes, and some can even get you disqualified. In this video, I'll explain every golf penalty in a way that's easy to understand. Whether you're just starting out or you've been playing for years, knowing what the penalties are and how to avoid them will help you play better and avoid those frustrating extra strokes. Let's start with the most common penalty in golf, the 1-stroke penalty. 1-stroke penalties. A 1-stroke penalty means you add 1 extra stroke to your score. This is the most common type of penalty in golf, and it happens in several different situations. What makes 1-stroke penalties important to understand is that they're usually for minor rule violations or when you need to take relief from a difficult situation. Knowing when you'll get a 1-stroke penalty helps you make smart decisions on the course. The most common 1-stroke penalty situations are hitting your ball into a penalty area, water or marked hazard areas, declaring your ball unplayable, taking relief from an unplayable lie, or moving your ball when you're not supposed to, except on the putting green. If you hit your ball into a pond marked with red or yellow stakes, you get a 1-stroke penalty and several options for where to drop. If your ball is stuck under a bush and you declare it unplayable, you get a 1-stroke penalty and can take relief. The key thing to remember about 1-stroke penalties is that they're part of the game. Even professional golfers take 1-stroke penalties regularly. Don't let them ruin your round. Just add the stroke, take your relief, and keep playing. 2-stroke penalties, or loss of hole in match play. A 2-stroke penalty is more serious than a 1-stroke penalty. In stroke play, you add 2 strokes to your score. In match play, you lose the hole. What makes 2-stroke penalties significant is that they're usually for more serious rule violations or situations where you've gained an unfair advantage. These penalties can really hurt your score, so it's important to avoid them. Common 2-stroke penalty situations include playing from the wrong place, hitting the wrong ball, asking for or giving advice about club selection, except to your partner or caddy, taking too long to play a shot, slow play penalty, or practicing on the course between rounds of a tournament. If you accidentally hit someone else's ball thinking it's yours, that's a 2-stroke penalty. If you ask your playing partner what club they just hit, that's a 2-stroke penalty. You can ask about distance but not club selection. The best way to avoid 2-stroke penalties is to always make sure you're playing your own ball, follow proper procedures when taking relief, and don't ask for or give advice about which club to use. Stroke and distance penalty. Stroke and distance is a specific type of penalty where you add 1 stroke and must replay from where you last hit. It's one of the most frustrating penalties because you lose both the stroke and all the distance you gained. What makes stroke and distance tough is that you have to go all the way back to where you hit your previous shot. If you hit your drive out of bounds, you have to go back to the tee, add a stroke, and hit again. So your next shot is your 3rd shot. Stroke and distance applies in these situations. When your ball goes out of bounds, marked by white stakes or lines, when your ball is lost, can't find it within 3 minutes, or as one of your options when taking an unplayable lie. This is why hitting a provisional ball is so important. If you think your ball might be lost or out of bounds, announce you're hitting a provisional and hit another ball. If your original is lost or OB, you can play the provisional without walking all the way back. Many casual golfers use a local rule that allows dropping near where the ball was lost or went OB for a 2-stroke penalty instead of going back. This speeds up play but isn't the official rule for competitions. Penalty area penalties. Penalty areas are what used to be called water hazards. They're marked with red or yellow stakes or lines. When your ball goes in a penalty area, you get a 1-stroke penalty and several relief options. What makes penalty area rules important is that you have choices about where to drop, and picking the right option can save you strokes. Understanding your options helps you make smart decisions. For yellow penalty areas, you can either replay from where you last hit, stroke and distance, or drop on a line going straight back from the hole through where your ball entered the penalty area, going back as far as you want. For red penalty areas, you have those same options plus 1 more. You can drop within 2 club lengths of where your ball entered the penalty area, no closer to the hole. This lateral relief option is usually the best choice. The key is identifying exactly where your ball last crossed the edge of the penalty area. All your relief options are based on that point, not where the ball ended up in the water. Out of bounds penalty. Out of bounds, OB, means your ball has left the course boundaries, usually marked by white stakes or white lines. This results in a stroke and distance penalty. What makes out of bounds particularly painful is that there's no option to just drop near where it went out. You must go back to where you hit your previous shot, add a stroke, and replay. Out of bounds is different from a penalty area. With a penalty area, you have multiple relief options. With OB, your only option is stroke and distance, unless a local rule is in effect. If you hit your tee shot out of bounds, you must re-tee, and your next shot is your third shot. First shot went out of bounds. Add a penalty stroke, then hit again. This is why many golfers hit a provisional ball when they think their shot might be out of bounds. The white stakes or lines marking OB are not movable obstructions. You can't move them, and they're considered out of bounds themselves. If your ball is touching the line or stake, it's out of bounds. Lost ball penalty. A lost ball is when you can't find your ball within 3 minutes of starting to search for it. This also results in a stroke and distance penalty. What makes the lost ball rule strict is the 3-minute time limit. Once 3 minutes have passed, your ball is officially lost. Even if you find it 1 second later, you must go back and replay from where you hit your previous shot. The 3-minute search time starts when you or your caddy begin looking for the ball. It doesn't matter if other people are helping you search. The clock starts when you start looking. This is another situation where hitting a provisional ball is smart. If you think your ball might be lost in thick rough or woods, announce you're hitting a provisional before you go look for your original ball. Many casual golfers use a gallery rule where they just drop a ball near where they think it was lost and take a 1-stroke penalty. This isn't the official rule, but speeds up play in friendly games. Wrong ball penalty. Playing the wrong ball means hitting a ball that isn't yours. This results in a 2-stroke penalty in stroke play, and you must then find and play your correct ball. What makes this penalty avoidable is simple. Always identify your ball before hitting it. Mark your ball with a unique marking so you can easily identify it. If you play the wrong ball, the strokes you made with the wrong ball don't count, but you get a 2-stroke penalty. You must then find your actual ball and play it from where it lies. In match play, if you play the wrong ball, you lose the hole. This is a serious penalty that's completely avoidable by taking 2 seconds to check that it's your ball before you swing. Professional golfers always mark their balls with unique markings and announce their ball type and number to their playing partners at the start of the round to avoid any confusion. Mid-video call to action. If you're learning about penalties you didn't know existed, you're not alone. Golf has a lot of rules. Hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell icon so you don't miss future videos that break down the game in simple terms. I'm committed to helping you understand golf without all the confusing jargon. Drop a comment below telling me which penalty surprised you most. I read every comment and love hearing from you. Now let's get into the remaining penalties that every golfer should know about. Unplayable lie penalty. An unplayable lie is when your ball is in such a bad spot that you decide you can't reasonably hit it. You can declare any ball unplayable, except in a penalty area, and take a 1-stroke penalty with relief options. What makes the unplayable lie rule helpful is that it gives you an escape when you're in serious trouble. Sometimes taking a 1-stroke penalty is smarter than trying an impossible shot that might cost you more strokes. When you declare an unplayable lie, you have 3 options. Go back to where you last hit, stroke and distance, drop within 2 club lengths of where the ball lies, not closer to the hole, or drop on a line going straight back from the hole through where your ball lies. In a bunker, those same options apply, but if you use the 2 club length or back on the line options, you must stay in the bunker. There's also a 2-stroke option to take back on the line relief outside the bunker. Only you can declare your ball unplayable. Your playing partners can't force you to declare it unplayable, and they can't tell you that you must play it. Equipment penalties. There are several penalties related to equipment violations. These include using non-conforming equipment, carrying more than 14 clubs, or getting help from artificial devices. What makes equipment penalties serious is that they can result in disqualification if you don't catch them in time. Always count your clubs before starting your round. If you start a round with more than 14 clubs, you get a 2-stroke penalty for each hole where you had extra clubs, up to a maximum of 4 strokes. You must immediately take the extra clubs out of play. Using a non-conforming club, one that doesn't meet USGA specifications, or getting distance information from a device that measures slope or wind can result in disqualification. You also can't use any device that helps you with alignment or swing mechanics during your round. Alignment sticks are great for practice but can't be used during a round to help you line up shots. Slow play penalties. Slow play penalties are given when a player or group takes too long to play. While rare in casual golf, they're enforced in tournaments to keep rounds moving. What makes slow play penalties important is that they affect everyone on the course. When you play slowly, you're not just hurting your own round, you're backing up every group behind you. In professional tournaments, players are given a specific amount of time to play each shot, usually 40 to 50 seconds. If they exceed this time repeatedly, they first get a warning, then a one-stroke penalty, then additional penalties for continued violations. In amateur tournaments, groups are expected to keep pace with the group ahead. If a group falls behind and doesn't catch up after being warned, each player in the group can receive a one-stroke penalty. The best way to avoid slow play is to be ready when it's your turn, limit practice swings, and keep moving between shots. Golf should take about 4 to 4.5 hours for 18 holes. Disqualification. Disqualification is the most serious penalty in golf. It means you're removed from the competition and your score doesn't count. What makes disqualification so serious is that it's usually for major rule violations or integrity issues. These aren't accidents, they're serious breaches of the rules. Common reasons for disqualification include signing an incorrect scorecard, recording a score lower than you actually made, serious misconduct or unsportsmanlike behavior, starting a round from the wrong tee time, or using non-conforming equipment without declaring it. In professional golf, players are responsible for their own scorecards. If you sign for a score lower than you actually made on any hole, you're disqualified. If you sign for a higher score, that higher score stands. Roberto De Vicenzo famously signed for a higher score than he made at the 1968 Masters, costing him a chance to win the tournament. The rules are strict. What you sign for is what counts. So there you have it. Every golf penalty explained. Remember, penalties are part of golf, and even the best players in the world take them regularly. The key is knowing the rules so you can avoid unnecessary penalties and handle the unavoidable ones correctly. Don't let penalties frustrate you or ruin your round. They're just part of the game, like missing a putt or hitting into a bunker. Add the strokes, take your relief properly, and move on to the next shot. The more you understand the rules, the more confident you'll feel on the course. Hit that like button if this helped you understand golf penalties better, and I'll see you on the course.